My goodness, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. Welcome, welcome. It is my absolute joy and pleasure to be with all of you and to be with our beautiful guest speaker, this beautiful, amazing woman when I met her, I mean, oh my goodness. It was really funny. So when I met you, you were actually going through a tough period because you got in a car accident.
Yeah. Wow.
And
Yeah.
we met at a mutual friend's birthday party, and you were getting body work done, and she was this
Yeah.
beautiful, like blonde being of light, just like blasting light out of her face. And she was getting like naked body work done in this like beautiful yard and for hours. And she was just like and it was like so beautiful to watch her heal right in front of my eyes. And I adored her from the moment I met her. And so, I met her when I met her, she was Yelini. And so she was embodying a very different energy. And she has gone back to her original name that her parents gave her, Chelsea. And so I want to welcome the beautiful, amazing, gifted Chelsea to our space. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Lana. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I completely forgot about all of that. I remember thinking, I just met these people and I'm getting naked body work done. They're going to think I'm crazy. But
But yeah, I'd like the way I've always seen you, and since we've interacted only a few times, like since then, is this amazing person who has gone through a lot of challenges and a lot of difficulties that you have just alchemized into this beautiful healing. And the way that you show up is, oh, it's just so, it's obvious that you have done a lot of work on yourself and that you have done this, like, you've been on this amazing healing journey. And so I feel like that probably led to you being a healer, as it, often does. We all know about the wounded healer archetype. So do you want to talk about that a little bit, how that journey happened?
yeah. Yeah. I mean, where to start? Like, when did the journey start? I think at birth, really. But
Yeah.
we'll go into kind of what I mark as like my most significant moment leading to my healing journey. And I had only lived in cities. I'd lived in San Diego and LA and Boston and Philly and New York City. And at the time I was in New York City, and it was 2012, and Hurricane Sandy hit, and it was just insanity. And I was like, oh no. And being 2012 and all the prophecies and all the like world's ending, I was like, this is the last place I can be for any kind of natural disaster. So I packed my stuff and I moved to Nantucket Island, which is like a 13-mile little island off of Cape Cod, absolutely stunningly beautiful. And it was the first time in my life I experienced nature, like ever. Like, I hadn't seen trees, I hadn't seen a creek, I hadn't seen. And I was a runner. I was running half marathons and marathons, so I would just run the whole island. And it really was nature that was my first initiation into healing, and
Mm,
realizing just how incredibly immaculate and intelligent it is. And I could feel it just working through my systems. And so, and then on that island, I experienced craniosacral and Reiki and energy work. And, I was always very like logic oriented. Prove it, show me. And I remember the first time I got this, it was like $400 for this like craniosacral, like, and the woman like barely touched me. And I'm like, oh, what a hoax, what is this? And all of a sudden, this like waterfall of energy rushed through my body. And I was like, oh, I see, I get it. Okay. And so that really marked the the kind of like beginning of that type of healing journey. I've always had a spiritual connection and, you know, always believed in something outside of ourselves, but that was kind of the first step. So from there, you know, what I really needed to heal, my abuse history was very physical abuse and sexual abuse. And so that's when I started just going on that journey to heal those things specifically. And yeah, along the way, I've tried just about everything twice and picked up a lot of tools along the way, learned a lot of lessons. And over the past, I would say 3 years, I've just been kind of refining what has worked, what hasn't worked. I've learned so much through my clients and kind of I have enough tools to make things really catered to each person individually, you know,
Yeah.
so it never looks the same. And none
Yeah.
of our healing processes look the same.
That's really beautiful. So since we're all gathered here together, do you have a tool for all of us to share now so we can just kind of like get into a space together?
All right, all right. Yeah, let's just take a few breaths. Mm, Nothing forced, just bring awareness to your breath. So allow yourself right now to just sink into Mother Earth and gravity and let that gravity hold you like a hammock wrapped around you. And just feel that surrender. Feel that safety within that release. And just take a few breaths from the top of your crown into your heart, allowing all of your thoughts to melt like honey. And with each breath, just breathing them down into your heart space. Now let's just tap the crown of our heads and wake it up, get it online. All the way down to your temples and your third eye, the top of the lip, going into your throat. Awakening those channels of clear, cohesive communication. Down to your thymus, right under your bones here.
Mm.
Your thymus. This is where all of your white blood cells are being activated. So your immunity, your whole immune system is here. So just give your immune system a little prayer, a little intention as you're tapping this area. And go down to the heart space.
Mm.
And in this heart space, with each breath, and you can tap or just place hands on your heart. And with each breath, start to expand that space around your entire field. In front of you, around you, above you, below you, until that space is just filled with your own heart's magnetic field energy. This is a space that we intend to share from today. So thank you for being present in your heart space. Thank you for being present with Lana and I today, and showing up for yourselves.
Oh my goodness. I needed that. I told you I was a little coming into.
Yeah, yeah, me too. That's the energy, you know? That's the energy right now. This is why your practices are so important. What was that, like 4 minutes?
Yeah.
So there's no excuse. We always can make the time for it. You know, something as simple as this just activates our heart space for the rest of the day.
It's so, it's funny because like that uh sort of pathway that you did is very similar to pathways that I work with in my work, but then this is the thing about healers and energy workers and coaches and therapists and all these people who are out there being of service, is that every single person who's doing this it doesn't matter if you use the same words and the same actions, it's going to be a completely different experience.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't use the same words and the same actions as I use. And so it was like, um, it was like I'm just being guided into a completely different space than when I do it for myself or I access a different healer. And so I think that's really important for not only the people out there looking for seeking guidance, but also for the healers to know that like each one of us is bringing something singular to the table.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody could access my work and have an experience, and then somebody could access your work and have a completely different experience. And like, that's one of the reasons why I'm doing these interviews with these people who I trust and love, and I know that they're doing good work. It's because I'm like, please, let's like all like look at each other and share our gifts all together, like all with the world, because we're all bringing different things.
Yeah. Yeah, we're so unique. And I don't know. I made a post recently kind of about that, about how we just have this, each one of us have this unique signature of love that is ours. It's literally our signature. It's a specific frequency, and no two are the same. And how brilliant is that? You know, it's so brilliant. And to just go further with that, in the post I was sharing about how when I actually like clicked into my self-worth and what that actually feels like in your entire being, was when I experienced for the first time my own unique signature of love coming back into myself. And what is that? That's self-love.
Yeah.
And you have your own frequency of love, and that specific love is made for you to hold, for you to receive, and for you to give to the world. So it's just so brilliant. It's, yeah, it's so lovely.
There are no mistakes in creation,
Oh, there are not.
Oh, so you do a million things.
I do a million things.
I have experienced you as a DJ. And like, let me tell you, people, if you want, like, I don't know how often or like if you hire yourself out for that, but um, oh my God, if you want a transformative healing experience through music and fun and like party and like that kind of thing, this woman, like, you think like, oh, she's just like playing music on like turntable. I don't think you use turntables, but she's just like
Similar.
playing music through like this like electronic system, like, but oh my God, it is like it's a beautiful healing experience. And like you're
Mhm.
bringing your magic and your healing into that space. And so how did you get into that and how did that develop?
Oh, wow. How did I get into that? I got into that initially in New York City. I lived with a guy who was a vinyl DJ. And so I learned on vinyl first,
Nice.
which was great. It's a great like baseline to have. Most people go from electronic to vinyl. I went the other way. But yeah, for me, it was just always like, music is definitely, I would say, like my first form of healing all day. Like it's something that has always been so therapeutic. So I was just spinning for myself. Like that was literally like my therapy was like go in my studio, mix the music. And then I started sharing it kind of more actively with the world probably about 7 years ago. Um, and yeah, it's been such a fun journey. And it's like, yeah, it's a wild experience to drop into that channel of something that you love so much. And the same with music. I've always said, like I give everyone my tracks. They want it, I give it to them. I'm not like a track hoarder because I'm just like, no two people will ever play this the same, right? Because like it's through our channel and it's through our instrument and it's through, so I'm like, yeah, we could play all the same music and it'll be a totally different experience. So yeah, the DJing has been amazing and fun. And simultaneously, I've been a birth worker for 10 years. So I have assisted and been at the feet of many birthing women, which is just absolutely incredible. And people are like, you're a DJ and a midwife. I'm like, yeah, they're both late nights. They're both late nights, so it works. Yeah, so then I started getting into the couples mediation, and it was through the couples mediation that I was like, okay, before we even get into the couples union work, I kept having to separate my clients and having individual sessions to get them through trauma healing, just to a place where we could then start to connect in the unionship. So then I just scratched that business and said, I just want to work on trauma healing because it's truly the baseline for every single thing. I mean, without it, if you can't get out of your own way, then none of the other things are really relevant. There's no capacity, there's no space in our bodies and our fields to hold that information. So step one, trauma healing.
Yeah. Yeah. The most important thing.
Yeah, everybody do it. It's so fun.
Well, it not only is it fun, but like every single person on the planet has trauma. And like some people will be like, oh, well, I had really good parents, I had a really good life, like my life has been easy, like I don't have trauma, I never had like a car accident, or I never got beaten up, or I never got whatever,
Yeah,
like, and it's like, well, okay, friend. I love that you had a beautiful life, but there are things that happen to us all the time that get recorded in our bodies as trauma. And also we've got a collective trauma, we've got an ancestral trauma. And
yeah,
so, yeah, I think that what you're doing is, I mean, it's so cornerstone, it's so essential, and every single person on the planet needs it.
yeah, yeah. You and I both. We're like, focus on the trauma.
Yeah, because you really can't get to the next level until you clean up the basement.
And I want to say, we're not always responsible for the trauma that has been inflicted on us. Like it wasn't our fault, but we are responsible for healing it. So at some point, that's where we have to start. And if you don't mind, I just want to like dive into like baseline nervous system so that people
Let's
know.
do it.
Yeah, like when we're talking about everyone has trauma, trust me, everyone has trauma. And as a birth worker, I've studied birth for 10 years, and there is a ton of research about babies that we come online in like 6 months gestation. So when a baby is in their mother at 6 months, they come fully online. So they're creating memories. They have full sensory access. So they smell, taste, touch, all of it. right? So that's at 6 months. This is the last trimester of a woman's pregnancy. So they've done all these studies actually through music has been the most profound. So they like went through this whole documentary of this woman who was like a harp player, just like beautiful harp music, right? And starting from 6 months gestation until the baby was born. So they were tracking this, and every day she'd hear the harp. The other mother was in this like crazy raging screamo band, right? And so and so that baby was coming online to that music, right? So when they were born, they would actually play like the baby with the heart music that was encoded with that, the screamo music, and she would obviously just lose it, right? Like not comfortable. It's like, so the one with the screamo music, though, you played the heart music, he would lose it. Like it was like horrible for him, right? And so this shows us that our baseline nervous system is created in utero. So, whatever your mother was going through the last trimester of birth, and for our generation, most of the women, had hospital births and had, doctors, especially the last trimester, like test you and like have all these crazy stuff. And women are stressed out, right? And so we have been programmed with a baseline nervous system of stress and chaos. So, guess what? That's our comfort zone. Our
Oh,
comfort
shit.
zone is stress and chaos. Like the comfort zone was the heart music or the screamo music. It's whatever you are imprinted with. Okay. So then we come into this world, and what do? We actually energetically chase and like call in chaos and stress, because that's what makes us actually feel comfortable. So
Oh
it
my
starts there, people. Like you can have a wonderful childhood, but like don't, it starts before, I mean before we're even on this planet, when we're little aquatic beings in there, like no worries in the world. And our baseline nervous system is saying, oh, stress is comforting. So this is why we have, the last few generations of just this like stress filled, overworked, burnt out kind of thing, because we're like, yeah, that's comfortable for us. It's uncomfortable for us to sit with ourselves in peace, you know?
wow. Wow, that is like, I never thought of it like that. That, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah. 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 So, there's these like core seeds to our trauma. And as you're doing your trauma, it's opening like a lotus. There's like that layer and that layer and that layer. And each layer has its core seed. And, you know, many of us will have to go back to the layer of before we, when we were in our mother's wombs, and dismantle that core seed, you know?
Yeah.
So it does take willingness, and it takes devotion, and to do your healing, and I always tell my clients, like, don't come to me and have this session where you get this healing in that session and then let that be it until the next session, because you have to come in willing to do your, and I don't want to call it work, but like willing to heal and do anything you have to get there, because
Yeah.
the next generation is leapfrogging off of us. So it is our responsibility to be the bridge from this chaos culture and this stress culture to a new way of being, right?
Mhm. Yeah, and like what I have found in my healing journey, I guess life for everyone is a healing journey if we choose it to be. Is
Yeah.
that the more that you do the practices, the easier and more natural it becomes, where it's just like something comes up. I mean, I just had something come up last night where I was experiencing some fear, and I was like, okay, and I did my things that I do, and it was fast. I processed through it like in a matter of hours. It was gone. And so like this is like we need to practice, people, and we need to like install these practices into our lives. So like, yeah, you can have one session with Chelsea or one session with me and like get all this good stuff and do the things, but like you also have to carry that into your life. And like, yeah, it does help to have multiple sessions. And it does help to
Yeah,
like work with different people. And it
please.
helps. Yeah, like please work with all the people and do all the
Yes,
sessions and do all the homework.
yes. Yeah, mandatory.
Yeah.
Mandatory.
Yeah. So, oh my goodness. So what's next? Where do we go from this? Where do we go from
We're,
here?
we can go anywhere really. I will say with that, like, what really got like lit the fire under my ass is this woman said, "Are you?" She said, "Do you want to live?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, like I want to live. Like I don't want to kill myself. If that's, like, no, we're good." And she's like, "That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking, do you want to live?" And again, I was like, "Well, yeah, I want to live. I'm living, like. And she's like, "I'm going to ask you one more time. Do you want to live?" And it really hit my core. And then she was like, when I started closing my eyes and feeling into it, she's like, "Feel the energy of life force. Like, do you want to live your life? Like, do you want to live life force energy and become that? Like, do you want to live, right?" And I was like, I actually need to take some time to answer that question, because I was in a place where I was like, I don't know if I want to get there. Like, I don't know where I'm at. And she said, when you decide that you want to live, do not let anything stop you. You have to just keep going until you get there. You just keep going. And she's like, it has to be your main focal point. And so, yeah, it took me like a week or two. And then I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to live. Like, if I'm going to be here, I want to be living, you know? And so that's what I did. No distraction, no anything. And I will say a beautiful starting point is figure out what your focal point is, where you are putting your energy, and what your mission is. Write those three things down. And then in any encounter in your life, like, question yourself and say, is this where I'm putting my energy? Is this supporting my focus? Am I living out my mission with this encounter? Like, and if it's a no, just put it down. Just walk
Woo!
away. Don't let anything stop you.
Oh my God, that's so good. Let's repeat those three things again. That is so
Yeah.
perfect for everyone. Everybody write this down.
Yeah. Write it down. Yeah. So you figure out your focal point, right? What is your focal point? And this is like, with a woman in birth, there's like a teddy bear, there's like the focal point, right? Why? Because with so much going on, without that focal point, what are you doing? And so find out what that is for you. Write down where you are putting your energy, like currently, and where you would like to be putting your energy, or you are going to be putting your energy. So figure that out. And then your mission, like, what's the greater mission? What's the greater purpose? And don't overthink it. Keep it simple. Unless it's not. Your mission might be 10 pages long. You might be doing some real shit in the world. you know. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that is just like, that is so, if I had someone like you or you tell me that like 15 years ago, it would have saved
Right.
me a lot of time. And I mean, we all have to get where we get, how we get there. And like, obviously my journey was purposeful and like, cause I've gathered all these tools, on my end from like my personal experience. And so, but yeah, if I had somebody tell me that, that would have, and if I had actually done it, because like
Right.
you could talk to people all day long, and unless they actually do the thing,
Yeah. Can't make them drink. Can't make them sip the Kool-Aid.
I mean, so there is one thing that I really do love though. When somebody like you or me or like all, all those other people out there who are healing and doing the work and like um just their presence showing up in someone's life is an activation. It is an energetic transfer. So like they cannot do the work and get a little bit of your energy, get a little bit of my energy, get a little bit from these people over here and over there and over there. And it will subtly shift and it will plant seeds and there will be something. But like, do we want to settle for something?
Right. Well, not only that, Lana, but right now, like, I mean, the healing journey that you and I have been through, we were, that was a different time where it could take, you gain an awareness and it could take 6 months to a year for that to set in because of where the collective energetics were at, because of where the energy on this planet was at. Right now, it is so accelerated. There is so much energy for your healing on this planet as we speak. 2024, what is up? Let's go, because it is here for us now. And so I guarantee you that if there was a commitment level that anyone put into their journey, it won't take years. It really
Yes.
won't, because our guides they're just waiting for us. They're like, just say yes and I'll get this, going. So that's it. We got to say yes and we've got to just commit. And I promise it doesn't have to be this like arduous, yeah, your healing can be scary. It can be a little bit daunting sometimes. Like, oh, do I want to look at the next thing? But it is so liberating. It is so freeing, you know? And it's so worth it.
100%.
Do
And
it.
it's true. We are in a heightened, it's like a quickening. We're in a quickening,
Yeah.
and I'm seeing it in like my clients. And it's like, holy crap. Like back when I started doing my light body clearing and DNA activation work that I do, it was like I could do a session with someone. And this was like how many years ago was that now? 11 years ago. I would do a session and I would only be able to run 1 or 2 codes. And these are like things that I have these codes that have like instructions for people's higher self. So that's what I do. I like have these codes. I give them to a person's higher self. Their higher self goes, blah, 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 you know.
Totally.
And now I'm like, it's like not only are like the people that are coming to me like they've already done like a lot more work, so there's that space, but also just in general they're coming to me and I'm like, I've been running like 15 codes on like it's just like, or 5 codes on this person, 10 codes on this person, 15, it's just like it's like this is amazing, like we are blasting off. We are collectively, individually, and like I'm seeing, I'm seeing the healers and the light workers stepping up and really blasting. And like I mean, it's mind blowing. It's like it's finally happening.
I know. Now's the time. And like, I mean, can you believe we're like alive right now in these like prophesized times of this like new golden age? Like, who are we? We're amazing. Everybody on this planet right now is participating in just astronomical events that are, we waited for so long. So congratulations. You chose to be here. Choose to live now. Do your trauma work, because we need that energy. So what trauma is doing on an energetic level, like there's so much that wants to come into us energetically, but our nervous systems get all tripped up and start to block and start to hold and start to like it's like we're being hit by lightning, and then instead of allowing that to like run through us, we're like holding on to it, and then we're taking like the force of lightning and putting it in this tiny little ball and just like it has to just stay there because I'm too afraid to let it go, and it's like it's blocking our systems from fully receiving what's available to us now. Every single person on this planet, what is available to us now. So get that shit out of the way you know, and just let it flow because it's amazing what's going on. It's really truly just incredible. And we
Yeah.
all want to play on the same playground, you know. We all, you know, the Hopi prophecy says um we want to, you know, go down the shore, you know, float in the water and put our heads up out of the water and look around and see who's there with us and celebrate. And those that hold on to the shore are going to be torn apart, you know? And so it's like right now, this is the time. It's like you're holding on to the shore, you're holding on to this linear way of life, you're holding to your past, you're holding on to your stories and your traumas, and you're getting torn apart, or you're letting go and realizing how many people are flowing with you and celebrating, right? Like we're in that time. We're allowed, we can celebrate now. Like we did it. We've done it. Just let go. And,
Yeah.
and that's the thing is there's this like collective force right now where like all of us who've been lone wolves are like, oh wait, this isn't sustainable. And we're all finding each other. Like nobody is alone in their journey right now. Nobody. If you're alone, we got to look at some things because like you're not, there's so much support, you know.
Yeah. 100%. And you know, I have, you know, I feel like every single person that I work with is magical. Of course, I think every single person on the planet is
So
magical.
magical. I know.
So I get these magical people in my life that are coming to me like, oh, I'm like, want to do this and I want to do that and I want to heal the world. I want to save the world. And I'm like, you are literally, you're like, and it's not, we're not saving the world. We're basically saving humanity together. Every single person who's here. Like, you want
Mm-hmm.
to save the world? You're saving the world just by being here. You're saving the world by like healing your trauma. You're saving the world by opening yourself up to that lightning that's ready to like hit you. Brilliant.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. It's so brilliant how everybody has their own thing. It's just honestly, I know this is so cliche, but it's like find what you love and just don't let anything stop you. You know, I don't care if it's like painting shoes or weaving baskets or like whatever your thing is, just like do it. And you will be supported in that now. We're in a different time. I know that it can be scary because a lot of us have already tried to do the thing that we loved and we've been shut down, rejected, right? And we fall into scarcity because the thing that we love doesn't generally generate money, right? Well, I'm telling you right now, that's shifting. That's already shifted. So what the energetics are supporting is that the people doing things that they love is anything that's coming from a heart-centered frequency. You will be rewarded. The universe will reciprocate. Period. That's natural order of law. It's not like it has to happen.
Yeah, that yeah, universal law. And now that like so I have a belief that we have been kept oppressed by forces of darkness for hundreds of thousands of years. And so like they have
Yeah.
these forces of darkness have actually been really keeping us from connecting with our heart spaces, keeping us from like being in our truth and like expressing the things that we love and like all these like things. But it's like as we are activating and awakening our consciousness and we're like, you know, our chakras are getting opened up and we're having access to greater amounts of energy and like our systems are running more properly how they were designed, the original divine blueprint, you know, that like what's happening is like you said, we are at a turning point where now is finally the time. Like, we are not only going to be able to do the things we love and like heal in the ways we want to heal, but it's also going to like the more that we do it, the more it's going to exponentially make it more viable and more like prosperous and like all the things for everyone. So like if you have stopped doing the things you love because it wasn't working out, it wasn't serving you, it wasn't making you money, it like felt really disappointing, like start over again and do it now because it is like it's happening. And the more you do it, like the more all the people out there do it, Like the more that I'm doing it, the more it's encouraging other people to do it. And those people are encouraging other, and it's just like going to be this exponential.
Yeah. Yeah. It already is. It's just, I mean, it's miraculous. It really, I'm loving being alive right now.
It is magical.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like, how would you, okay, so yes, we want everybody to book sessions with you because that's where it's at. But also at the same time, like you've already given us some like really good guidance and advice. Like, do you have any like guidance and advice for people? Like, how does even like what if a person doesn't even know what they love? Like, what if they don't know how to like heal trauma on their own? What if they don't like they're just like confused? Like, where do I even go next?
Yeah.
What would you say to them?
Yeah. Well, honestly, I mean, it's on my Facebook, in my videos and stuff, but truly, like, there are just some really simple ways to start. And the starting point I always recommend is get two journals. One is a gratitude journal, and one is a journal where you dump your subconscious shit out and tear it up right after you do it. And so I have more, details on how to do those practices. But if everyone just started that daily, I it would just get the wheels turning, and everyone can do it, and if you can't write, type. If you can't, like, um everyone can do it. It's really straightforward, it's really simple, and it creates some pretty amazing changes quickly, and it also puts that energy in towards, or like that energy towards, getting used to being in a daily practice, even if it's 5 minutes. So I think, you know there we have choice, we have free will on this planet, so you really have to just choose that you're going to commit to yourself and to your healing. And to be honest, I do not, have the privilege of knowing anyone's soul path, but I believe that as soon as you say yes to that, the next step will show up for you.
Oh, so good.
Yeah. Yeah, simple stuff, we don't have to get crazy with it.
In fact, like getting crazy can be fun, but like I mean, people might be like, well, I'm like a full-time mother and I have a job and I've got like this. And like the fact of the matter is you can take 5 minutes. Like
Mhm.
you can.
We
Like,
all scroll on our phone every day way more than 5 minutes. I don't care who you are. I use my phone the least amount of anyone I know, and I'm still scrolling at least 5 minutes a day. So if you take that time to just put it into your practice, sit down, grab a pen, grab a journal, get it all out, and DM me for more instructions on, the dump, because that's something that needs to be, done in a certain way. But yeah, simple stuff, start simple. We don't want to make these huge, and this is actually part of trauma response, is that we put mountains in front of our healing. So it's like we make it this huge thing, like, well, I'll start my healing when I start eating this way, or I'll start my healing once I've moved into this space, or like I'll start, and that is literally a trauma response. So there, at some point, you just got to decide yes. I mean, that's what it takes, because our trauma will keep us from our healing. It's that cyclical cycle. And so be aware of that. Be aware of that. If you come to me and say I don't have any time, then, okay. That's okay. You know, let me know when you do have time.
oh my, so do you poop? Because that's like 40
Yeah.
seconds at least that you could like,
Right? Do you poop? Yeah. Gratitude is your pooping. Please, just gratitude journal. I love you, body, for doing what it to do.
so
Okay, start
easy.
small.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot where because I offer free consultations in my work just because at least right now, maybe I'm not going to forever, but because sometimes people just have to like see my face, and I wasn't as for up until this point, I wasn't as visible in social media and da da da. So I gave people the opportunity to come and talk to me. And so a lot of people would come and they'd be like, "Oh, I really need what you're doing. I'm really drawn to you, and I'm going to book a session." And then they never would, and it was this all they had to do was push a button. And they couldn't even get past all those things, all these things that they've stacked in front of themselves. And all they had to do is push a button and then show up. And like, I feel a lot of empathy, sympathy, compassion for that because like, oh man, like those are some big mountains if you can't push a button.
Right. And this
Like
is why,
those are
I
some
mean,
big mountains.
my business coach would totally disagree with me. I don't chase clients either. So, if they reach out to me and they show interest and then don't book, I don't keep checking back in with them unless I get clear guidance too.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll get clear guidance, hey, go check back in with this person. But yeah, I don't go for the chase. I don't do that because it's such a personal thing. It's so personal. Your healing journey is so personal to you, and you do just have to be ready. And for me, I had to get really sick of myself. I was like so sick of myself. I was sick of my thoughts. I was sick of my patterns. I was just like, what is this? And so we all have our own unique way of getting to this place of saying yes. But I will say, like, I think that's just the hardest part. There's no way around that step. The first step is just like like you just have to commit. That's the first step. And that one you just have to choose to do. From then on, it does get more easeful, you know.
It does. Because
Yeah.
it's like we convince ourselves that I don't know, it's like it's too much, it's too hard, it's too this, it's too much money, it's too much time. It's like all these things that are not real. And
Mhm.
so once we like pop that bubble of sort of lies that we've told ourselves, then we see much more clearly that like, oh, actually it's not too much anything.
Yeah.
And that's where like getting into the practice of it and starting small with these baby steps is so helpful because then we're like tricking our nervous system into like going along with it. Our nervous system's like, no, I wanted to be crazy and angry and forever. And we're like, no, but like let's try this little thing. Like, and the nervous system's like, oh wait, I think I like that.
Yeah. That's nice. I need a rest anyways. I've been angry for a while. Really tiring. Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. Honestly, it is exhausting to constantly be, I mean, literally for our body, like what happens when trauma ignites, which literally anything can set us up subconsciously. It's wild. And so
Yeah.
once that trauma ignites, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system are going off at the same time. So you're like spiking in adrenaline, cortisol, and then also in that full stop, it is like pressing the gas and the brake at the same time on a car. Like, what are you doing? You know, and it's constant and it is so life draining, you know.
Yeah.
So just take that first step because, you know, and then once you make this decision, you've already catapulted into choosing to trust yourself, choosing to heal yourself. And I'd say the next step is choosing to love yourself. And then the next step is choosing to be yourself. And so it's like it starts with this trust, and then it moves into love, and then it moves into authenticity. And authenticity, I don't know if you've seen these studies, crazy. Authenticity is the highest vibration on this planet,
Yeah.
and to be truly authentic, like think of yourself as a baby, like think of yourself as a baby. Babies are just, you know, pissing themselves, shitting themselves, throwing up on themselves, making any noise they want, laughing, crying, spitting, like they are literally just being all of themselves, right? So we came in, we know what every single person knows what it feels like to be authentic to themselves. There is a memory in there that when you strike that chord, you're not going to want to go back to fitting in the box or doing the thing that's right or good or bad or, because it's so freeing, it's so liberating. And so generally, like, our first trauma is the first time, somebody, your parent said, no, you can't be all of you. No, you can't scream right now, you know? And literally when we're babies, like it'll just shut our whole, we feel like we're gonna die. That's like the first imprint of, and that's one of like the super core wounds, And so we want to reparent ourselves to where we give ourselves permission to be authentic. It's the electromagnetic field of authenticity is like 300 times that of love, you know? So there are these steps to go through to get there for sure. You don't just wake up tomorrow and decide, I'm going to be authentic now.
Exactly.
It's a frequency that is so big that you have to make room for it in your system. You have to make room. You have to clear things out. You have to unpack because it's
And
huge.
and like because shame and guilt are two of the biggest like oppressive forces that have been so programmed into all of us individually, all of us collectively, all of our ancestors. It is like they have piled shame and guilt on us so deep. We're
Mhm.
like we can't even see our authentic selves until we start like taking off the little pebbles of shame and guilt.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, how do you do that? Well, you do that with trauma healing, emotional processing, like energy healing, freaking cranial sacral. There's a lot of paths to get there. And I'm not gonna say all helpful, but a lot of them are really super helpful,
Yeah.
and you don't have to like go to healers and therapists and like you can do it on your own, but gosh, it really helps.
Well, for me, it's like I did a lot of my healing on my own. A lot, most of it, I would say. And then I realized that I've come as far as I can go on my own. I need to find some help. Once I got some help, I then had to like undo some of this self healing I did on myself because having that outside perspective is so crucial for your healing process. Because sometimes we're messing ourselves up more thinking that we can do it alone. I mean, it's like we just have some help, just get some help. And that's part of like our trauma response too, is like, let me just do it alone, you
Yeah.
know?
Which in
So
general is a mindset we need to get out of. Like, we're here to be community. We're here to be a collective. We're not here to do anything alone.
no, we're here to play our part. We're here to have our role, to bring our unique signature of love and of authenticity to the collective. And it's just, it's not that fun. It's not that efficient to do things on your own. And it's like you will learn to do things on your own properly through the right assistance, through the right help. And it's like if you're at like the gates of, hell, you want someone to like hold your hand and walk you through it. Like, why not? Why not? Like, why jump into the fire alone? Like, that's just not going to be as fun, you
Oh,
know?
Jesus, I have been there at the gates of hell by myself, and it was rough.
You're like, okay, might as well. Let me go. Like, let me do it.
I mean, I had no other choice. I didn't know better. I was just like there in the fire, like, "Ah."
Yep. Yeah, one of my brilliant, amazing mentors and teachers, she told me a few years back, she was like, Chelsea, you can just walk around the fire. And I was like, what? And she's like, you don't have to dive in, turn to ash, become the phoenix, and then come out the other side. She's like, you can just walk around it. And I was like, oh, that's an option? She's like, yeah, that's an option.
I did not get that memo.
Yeah. Yeah, I got it a little late. I've experienced a lot of fire. Um, but yeah, that's the thing too. We can get so dramatic about it if we don't have these teachers to guide us, because it's like, okay, here's another fire. I'm gonna do it. Like it's exhausting. It's like, we're making it just a little, and it's beautiful, it's courageous, there's so many beautiful things to like making that step on your own, but it's just harder. It's just not as, it just is like we can just walk around it and get to the same place, you know.
Oh my goodness. Who knew? Who freaking knew?
Options, free will, choice.
So, oh my goodness. So and we're don't people don't think that we're done here yet, but I want to get this out in the world. Where can people, how do they find you? How do they connect with you? How do they get more of Chelsea?
Yeah. Right now, I have Facebook, I have Instagram, and I actually took down my website and all my landing pages. And so those are all under review right now. So really just contact me via Facebook and Instagram. And I'm sure we'll probably like leave a link on Lana's page or in the chats or somewhere for my social media.
Yeah, I will put it in the places.
Perfect.
So do you have an email? Can people reach you by email? Is that
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
and what's your
Um,
email?
ENSOULMOTION at gmail.com. So it's in soul motion.
So in, not N.
N, yeah.
Okay, N Soul Motion, right?
Mm-hmm.
At Gmail.
At gmail.com. Yep.
Okay, you guys have the data, you have the information. And what's your name on the various social platforms?
Chelsea Lauren. And yeah. So it's, oop, did I lose you? Okay. Sorry. Chelsea Lauren on Facebook. And then on the Instagram handle is Changing Trauma Queen.
Okay, so did I spell that right?
What?
Chelsea Lauren.
CHELSEALAUREN.
Lauren, right?
We're so tech savvy. You and I.
Ooh, and then changing, and I think it's underscore
Uh-huh.
drama queen. And yeah, so that is where you are found. And people, you should like her pages and follow her and like all of her posts and comment on them, because like, I mean, you're just, every single time I see one of your reels or your posts, I'm like, yes, like it brings like your light and your really good wisdom and advice into my life. And like I've got a lot of good like healing and wisdom and advice, but like every single time I'm like, yes, I needed this. Thank you,
Mm. Oh, I love that. Love that.
Yeah, and the more that like the people who think we're wonderful, who are here with us today, who are like doing work and they're like really changing the world through their personal like journeys and their healing, like the more that y'all out there support us and like, and you don't have to support us by booking sessions with us, though all that is fantastic, but like the more that you go to our pages and follow us and like us and comment on our posts, the more people see what we're doing and the more people we're just like activating up and the more people we're bringing our healing to, and the more, and so it's like, I know a lot of people on the healing path are like, it's really hard for me to relate to others because I'm like on this like journey of like really becoming myself and healing, and then I look around and there's all these people that are not, and they're like, it's hard to relate to people, and they're like, well, like let's get all those people on board.
Yeah.
Like we all have a collective mission here, friends.
Mm-hmm.
Get
Yeah.
all of them on board.
And yeah, I mean, healers in general, we definitely have um been kind of overlooked or undervalued, or and truly, I mean, this is our life's work. Like me sitting at my altar is my gift to you. Like like it is the gift that I can share with the world.
Yes.
So allowing each other, like, just this is a community setting. All of social media is community, family. So just anything you can do to help your brothers and sisters out who are on this path and committed. We've had to go through our own thing to even come, like, share our personal processes and share our gifts with the world. And so yeah, like, any support for any of us is just so encouraged and welcomed. And yeah, it can be so simple. It's a like, it's a repost, it's a comment,
Yeah.
especially the comments. Those are good.
Yeah. It doesn't cost you anything but 20 seconds of your time. And so like
Yeah.
something else I have discovered is that so like somebody comes to me and we connect. Like, everybody's all connected, we're all one, yada yada yada. Okay, but like somebody comes to me, we connect, and there is an energetic thing, a bond that's formed. And
Hmm.
so that's forever. And so that person can like now go out into the world. And as I'm healing myself, I'm still transmitting that to that person that worked with me. And
Hmm.
like they're transmitting their healing back to me. It's like this beautiful, I mean, it's like multidimensional next level shit, like it's
Yeah.
real. And like,
Yeah.
so the more that we're participating with each other, the more that we're like doing like group healing and like support groups. And, it's just like, we're just,
Yeah. We have healing bonds now, not trauma bonds.
ooh, can
Yeah.
somebody make that a meme, please?
Yeah. Fuck the trauma bonds. We've moved on. Oh my gosh. I'll make a
Oh,
bumper sticker and send it to you.
love it. I do want that to be a meme though, because I do want your face telling the world over and over on everybody's feeds. Like, we're done with trauma bonds. We've moved on to healing bonds.
We're healing bonding now. I love it. Why not? Let's try it out. Let's see if it catches.
Yeah.
It is so true though. It is so, I mean, anything we touch, anything that, any person that we influence in any way with our energy, our field, that yes, they're rising as you rise. Yes, like they have more access to that. So it's a
Yeah.
beautiful collective process.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Oh my gosh. I mean, how bad? I mean, I just, I just had this like flash of, I could feel through my body, like the actual energetic frequency and tone of like having just millions of people like come online and love themselves and just like all just all at the same time, right? And I'm just like, oh my god, because that's possible. And it's actually beginning to happen at a very rapid rate. I mean,
I'm not,
there
I'm like
was
might
that story
cry.
of your parents or your old high school buddy or whatever who are like actually leaning into like these concepts and this awakening.
Yeah.
And what, 10 years ago we were like, there's no way my mom is going to respect anything that I do. Right now she's like, I need all the everything you do. It's amazing. It's happening.
It is happening. And it's true. 10 years ago, as we're like, "Ugh," carrying this, like, when's it gonna happen? Are they coming with us? I don't think they're coming with us. Now they're like,
Yeah.
hey, we're coming with you. We're ready to come with you. It's like,
There's just a stallion like running off the cliff. Like, no, no one. Okay. Oh my gosh, I know. And now we're just lifting our heads up above water and we're like, oh, yes, all of us are here together.
Yeah.
I mean, what a gift.
What a gift. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for even just like incarnating in your bodies to like be here to do the thing. Like we all did that. We all were like, I want to go in and do the thing.
Yeah. 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 And you're so worthy. Everyone is so worthy. You know, when you start to embody that frequency of self-worth and then you like go out into the world and you're like, all you can do is like see everybody else's worth, you know? Like, does this person even know? Like, can they see themselves through my eyes for a moment, you know? And that's what I want to just continue to give people presence and allow them to see and feel and experience themselves. You know, as healers, we're not here to tell you what your truth is. We're not here to take your power away in that way. We're here to hold the container. We just do this, and then you know when you're a little far off the edge, you just patch you back in. You know, this is what I do as a healer. I'm allowing you to decide what your needs are,
Yeah.
what this looks like for you, you know, and decide what your truth is. But the
Yeah.
brilliant thing about that is that we're all agreeing upon these truths, you know, through consciousness. We're like, oh yeah, that's more true. Let's try that. You know, it's just so brilliant. So everybody needs to know that like they're going to be taking their power back. They're going to be, you know, really able to step into this world with their self-worth intact just by saying yes to this process.
Yeah. And you know, like, people, when you are like, I'm a healer, right? I've chosen that thing. People can sometimes look at you and be like, I want to be like that, but they're like scared. And it's like, baby, honey, I'm a mirror for you. Like, this I am you. All you have to do is step into it. Like, I'm holding up a mirror right here. You think I'm like blasting light on my face and like activating you with my presence? Yeah, I am. But like, you can just step right there too, babe.
Yeah, yeah. Here's my altar of love. You're all welcome. Come enjoy with me.
Like, I have a friend, I was hanging out with my friend yesterday, and she's like, God, I really just admire your confidence. And like, I want to get that for myself. And I'm like, you're just, all you have to do is grab it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Just like, look at yourself the way you're looking at me. And like, it's
Exactly.
done.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's the beautiful thing. I mean, our minds trick us into so many silly, silly things. And it's like, you know, people come to me like, oh, I don't trust myself. I know I don't trust myself right now. And I'm like, well, that's funny because you're trusting that you don't trust yourself. So, so I think you do. You know, I think you do. And it's just those little tweaks, you know, it's somebody there to just give that little like remembrance moment, that opportunity to like look at something in a new way with fresh eyes, you know?
Yeah.
And this isn't the days of healing, well, at least not in our practices, where it's like, I'm going to sit there and analyze you talking and, you know, kind of judge you, but not. And then I'm going to tell you what to do for yourself. Like, that's not it. That's not what's happening here.
No,
I'm
no.
learning as much as you are. Like, we are cultivating this alchemical moment together, and that's it. And one could not exist without the other.
100%.
And every teacher has a teacher. Like, this is just, it's a beautiful cycle.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah. Oh my goodness. So, do you have a ritual, prayer, practice, something that you want to take us out on? Or maybe a I don't care. Just do you have something that some of your magic that you want to? Because also she is a very magical priestess, and she just, I mean, like Chelsea, who I still honestly, you're in my mind, I have to correct myself every time. I'm like, not Yeleni, yeah, not Yeleni.
Yeleni, I know. She's still there. She's still there.
Yes. So Chelsea and Yeleni,
Yeah.
can you leave us with just some of your a taste of your magic?
Taste of my magic. Let me tune into that. Mm. Well, first and foremost, thank you so much, Lana. Thank you for spearheading this magical movement and bringing all of these amazing teachers and healers and participants all together and figuring out how to do that on the tech side, on the self-worth side, in all those ways. You just like come online to do that. Thank you so much. And oh my gosh, I could just chat with you all day, every day.
I mean, we're going to. Sorry, friends.
Yeah,
We are going to.
do that. Priorities. Yeah, and I would say, I'm just gonna like recap on some of the bigger takeaways. If there's like anything from this talk that to take away and walk the rest of your day and possibly life with, I think it is that you did not cause your trauma, but you are responsible to heal it. That is your responsibility. I also think that knowing that cultivating a gratitude practice is such a simple and profound way to start. And also, I'm just going to recap the three: find your focus, find the energy that you're moving with, that you're putting into anything, to find that, and find your mission. And just know those things in your being and allow them to be your barometer, because we all need a compass, we all need a barometer to rub things up against, like, does this match this or not? So these are just some really simple ways to start. And I just want to encourage everyone to make that leap into their yes for yourself, period. Like, the ripple effect will happen. So focus here, truly. It is not selfish to love yourself. And in fact, it's probably the most profound gift of service that you can participate in right now. So just come back to that heart space and take some breaths. So check in with your energy body, and just from the beginning of this conversation to this moment right now, see if there's any shifts or changes, or if your heart is in any way inspired or more expanded or more at ease. And just acknowledge whatever's there. And as we breathe into this space, your heart space, I'm just going to ask everybody to see an image right here in the middle of your chest, right in that heart chakra. Just what image comes up for you? And it might just be a swirling color, it might be a flower, it might be an actual image, or just, like I said, a color or a shape. So find that, find what that is for you. So allow that color, that symbol, that image to just imprint into your being right now. This is the energy of your heart. This is your unique signature of your heart. So anytime throughout that day, anytime throughout your day, when you start to get up in your head, you start to overanalyze, you start to stress, I just invite you to allow that image just to pop up. Just go back to that image and remind yourself as many times as you need to, as much as possible. Just take that moment to allow that image to come up and know that that image, that unique, and it can change, it can morph. Keep checking in with it, keep refining it, and know that that is your PowerPoint, that is your safety point, that is your authentic point, that is your gift of love, and that is what you are beginning to lead with. That's where you're making your decisions. That's where you are listening. That's what you're speaking to. Okay, so it really helps to just embody that image, imprint that image, and use it as much as possible. Use it to come back to the heart. And just take a few deep breaths, maybe some shoulder rolls, and shake it all out. Shake, 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 shake. It feels so good to shake.
Oh, I take my shaking very seriously. Oh my goddess. Okay. I want you guys all to share in the chat if you're comfortable doing that, because like I really want to share what, oh my God, Chelsea, I'm like crying kind of a little bit.
Oh,
It was
oh.
so beautiful. It was little baby Lana.
It was what was it? What was your image?
It
It
was
was a
my
little bit
little
Lana.
baby Lana.
Oh my god, I love her.
Oh my God, it was so I just like, oh my goodness. It was so like, thank you so much. Jennifer is blown away.
Oh, thank you, Jennifer.
Oh
Thank you for your presence.
my
Yum.
goodness. And scared what's next. That's okay. It's okay to be scared.
We got you. Check in with your image. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it can really be so simple and so useful, you know?
Oh man, wow. Like, yeah, that was like, look how much that took like 2 minutes. And like for her, like me and Jennifer. I'm sure there's others who maybe don't want to, they're not ready to chime in, but it just that was really incredibly powerful. And like,
Oh.
like I mean, I've said it a million times, like I've done a lot of work and like there's always something next.
Mhm.
There's always like a deeper level to get to. And there's always like, I'm so grateful for all the tools shared today. It takes so little to shift so much. Oh, thank you, Jordan.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you for the supportive direction. Oh, thank you, Jordan. We love you. We love you, Jennifer. We
Yeah,
love you, everybody that showed up today.
truly.
Some stranger told me yesterday I'm getting ready to enter shamanhood based on my symptomology. Ooh, that makes sense, actually. I know her personally. So I'm like, yeah, that tracks. It's not scary, baby. You got this.
No, no, you've already done the scary part, especially if you're on the path of shamanism. That is the wounded healer. That means you've already been through it. Now it's your time to shine.
Yeah, it's my initial reaction to say, "You're killing it, girlfriend," but I'm like, really, like, "You're living it,
You're
girlfriend."
living it, girlfriend. You are. You are it. Period.
You're life in it. You're birthing it. You're
You're life forcing.
Oh, well, on that note, you are life forcing and we are life forcing out of here.
Yep. Yep. Y'all decide that you want to live. It's so much more fun.
Oh my goodness. So thank you everybody who's here today. And Jennifer says yes.
Yeah, Jen.
And thank you everybody in future times that are the now, that are the future, that are the now. You know what I'm talking about.
All the
Uh,
same. All the same.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you to Chelsea, formerly
Mhm.
known as Yelini.
Yeah. Yeah. Reach out to me, DM me. I soon will have a more fluid system set up in the tech world. But right now I'm really diligent about getting back to the DMs. So
Yeah.
reach out. Let me know where you're at. Let's set up a call. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Lana.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. And you guys can find me at Energy Magic Love. There's underscores there on Instagram, and Lana Borealis on Facebook. And I'm on TikTok, Energy Magic Love, Lana Borealis. Not really sure which one. Sorry. And also I'm on YouTube. And also I have this really beautiful program called Magic Keys to Freedom. Come and join us. It's sort of focused on addiction and substance abuse and things like that. But everybody's welcome. And there's literally tools for everyone in that program. And this interview is part of that program, actually. So
Mm.
and this interview is also gonna be on YouTube and everywhere in the world. So we love you so much.
Yeah. And we are talking about anyone who's in Lana's program.
Oh,
There will be a discount for sessions with me. Yeah. Yay. So
yeah.
all of that will be shared somehow.
Yes. It'll be shared in the program. I'm going to put
In
that
the
in.
program. Yes. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
So that way that people have to actually get in the program to get the thing to get the, but I mean, people can like not join my program. Lame, but
But then you're paying full price.
yeah, then you're full price in it. And also right now my program is free. But it won't be forever. There's probably going to be like, it'll probably be like just $20 or something to join per like 3 months. So it's not even going to be expensive when it does go up, but do it now. All right.
Yeah.
We love you so much.
Love you so much, Lana. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you,
I love you,
everybody.
Chelsea.